Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. And I wanted to come on here and address the latest news about we have a new writer for the next James Bond movie. The reason why I wanted to come on here and discuss my feelings about the new writer that's going to be doing the James Bond movie, which is Stephen Knight, it's being covered everywhere, and I am probably not the biggest Bond aficionado or most knowledgeable about it, but I'm a big fan, and that's actually why I wanted to just kind of throw in my 2 cents about the new writer, because he mentioned that he's also a big fan. Now, that kind of means something, and I'll kind of get into that. But it means something for me and people of my generation when I hear someone like him, Stephen Knight, say that he's a big fan. Now, I am not that familiar with Stephen Knight's work. I'm kind of looking through the list here a little bit right now. Some of the things I'm a little familiar with. I remember when The Girl in the Spider's Web. I remember when that came out. I was actually working at a theater when that one came out. And I know a lot of people are talking about Peaky Blinders. I've never seen the series, but I've seen clips of it. I believe on YouTube, and they've always kind of been interesting. Now, some of the work I am familiar with was, now I remember Serenity also came out in the theater when I worked there. That was kind of weird. That one was kind of weird, kind of a weird twisty. I didn't see the whole thing, but I saw bits and pieces of it when I was in working in, because I did maintenance there, so I was doing work in the theater while the movie was playing. So, um, you kind of pay half attention because I'm in there fixing chairs and things. But I am familiar with some of the earlier work. So World War Z, I remember that one. I liked that. And one movie that I really did like, because I loved the characters, I liked the story. It was very lighthearted, but at the same time, I don't know, it was moving. It was called The 100-Foot Journey. It came out in 2014. I actually really liked that movie quite a bit. My family liked that movie. It was very well done, good character development, and a lot of fun. But other than that, I'm not too familiar with his work. So the reason why I actually am excited about Stephen Knight being the new writer is he's seasoned. So now we have Denis Villeneuve, who's going to be the director. Now we have who's a very seasoned director and a James Bond fan. Now we have Stephen Knight, who is also a James Bond fan. He's very well seasoned, has a lot of credentials under his belt. And so when he mentions that he's a Bond fan and he's like, oh, yeah, I can't wait to get into this. I'm going to make him better, bolder, stronger. When he's mentioning things like that, but he also said that he had always been a big James Bond fan. This is something he has always wanted to do, like a bucket list kind of a thing. And so when I look at Stephen Knight, really quick, I just wanted to see here. He is 65 years old. So he's 11 years older than myself. So what does that mean when someone of my generation or older says, oh, I'm a big fan of something? To me, this is what it means. And I'm going to do a little bit of a comparison. So I see a younger generation, and I've turned into kind of that grumpy old guy. I really have, get off my yard. And where I don't understand things. I don't understand, this whole, the weird hair colors, the positive affirmation walls. So I mean, there's just a lot of things, the latest music artists, the style of a lot of the latest music, and I don't get it. I'm not a big fan. Um, so I see kind of some of these younger generations, and I'll use Star Wars for example. So they'll say, "Oh yeah, I'm a big Star Wars fan," and I believe it. I believe it. I believe they're a big Star Wars fan. I'm a Star Wars fan. I'm a Star Trek fan. But there's different generations of fans. So a lot of times you'll see a newer generation when they say they're a Star Wars fan. Instead of a Darth Vader helmet, they'll have like a Kylo Ren helmet up there, or they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm a big Star Wars fan." And then somebody said, "Well, what's your favorite Star Wars movie or series or whatever?" And it's not going to be Empire Strikes Back. Like a lot of the older generation Star Wars fans would say, "Oh yeah, Empire Strikes Back. That's my favorite Star Wars movie." They'll be like, "Oh no, I like Star Wars, the that animated series, the Clone Wars. Yeah, oh that animated series, the Clone Wars is like the best. It's my favorite." I mean, I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying that they're a newer generation fan, so um, they're a fan of kind of the newer stuff. And maybe there's some fans that have not even watched older stuff. Um, so yeah, they're a fan, but they're a different generational fan. So I see someone like Stephen Knight now, and he says, "I'm a big James Bond fan. I've been watching Bond since I was a kid." That tells me that he's been watching Bond probably, before I was. So he's either probably within that range where he was seeing some of the later Sean Connery, probably early Roger Moore, most likely, coming out when he was going to be at that age of influence where he would watch a Bond movie and really take it in. So probably early Roger Moore time. So that lets me know that, well, this is someone of a generation who took it all in, not just the newer stuff, but he really took it all in, and that's what he's going to be a fan of. Maybe also of the age where he has read the books, and as a writer, will he now bring those books to the screen? I mean, that's what a screenwriter is really trying to do: adapt novel to screen. So I'm really excited with all the work he's done. I'm really excited to see what he's going to do of bringing novel to screen. And I'm also curious, what novel are they going to go with, or are they going to combine a couple of novels, or is it just going to be completely fresh screenplay where it's just written from scratch? That'll be interesting to see what happens with that. So I'm excited because this is a Bond fan of my generation. We have a director who's also a Bond fan of a older generation, and this also makes me more optimistic about whatever actor they choose. It seems like they're maybe looking at a fairly younger actor. One of the things that I'm okay with now, with kind of regardless whatever actor they get, the two most creative influences on the next Bond movie are an older generation Bond fan, and who really respect uh, the lore, the character, the history. So no matter what actor they get, these two creative influences can now mold this actor and really bring out Bond as my generation of Bond fans would expect to see, would expect him to react, act, and just kind of how he would be on screen. And so I'm very optimistic about this. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I guess we'll see you in the next video. And I appreciate you watching. Thanks. Bye.